Good morning, all. Hope everybody had a good weekend. All right, let me see. I might have an echo. Hold on, let me make sure this is muted. Okay, good. Yeah, it's muted. All right, guys, how's everybody doing today? Everybody should be doing all right. Watching AMD GBT. AMD gapping up some. I traded this one over and over again last week, and it was a pretty good week last week. So I'll be watching AMD again. It's gapping up some. Also looking at GBT. You can see GBT is gapping up a pretty huge amount here from 31.54 to 44.50. And so an over 25% gap up with this one. Curious to see where it goes. Just a huge gap. Also looking at CLVS. CLVS gapping up from 17.21 to $22. Gapping up about, looks like about $4.79, $4.80. So a pretty big gap up for CVLS. We'll see where this one goes as well. Also looking at NIO. NIO gapping up some from 771 to 809. Gonna watch that one. Gonna watch some of the cannabis stocks, CRON. If you can trade it in BEV, gapping up and moving a decent amount this morning. We also have IQ, which is gapping up and gapping up from about 2031 to 2182. So this one's gapping up as well. TRXC gapping up some from 311 to 330. AMRN, don't really like trading it, but it's gapping up some. VIPS gapping up some. And like I said, some of these other cannabis stocks like CGC, ACB are gapping up. Then we also have TRCO, that's gapping up as well. And so we got some options today, that's for sure. I'm looking at PBR too. PBR gapping up some. I've traded this one in the past. Had okay results with it. And so yeah, we got some options today. We'll see what we can find. What's up, John O, Huguetes, Marcus, Kane, Netron, Missouri. What's up, guys? Good morning. Appreciate the sub, Oliver. AMBA. All right, let me look at it. Yeah, big move Friday for AMBA. We'll see where it goes today. It all just depends on what caused this move. I mean, it's up, it gapped up and held. It's just about whether it's going to come back down. So curious to see, like I said, whether it holds this move, what caused it. What's up, Cass? Good morning, man. All right, but yeah, we got some options today. I mean, we got a lot of movers here to watch, and so we have a few options. I'm leaning more towards like CLVS, AMD, NIO, Cron maybe. Like those are the four I'm kind of leaning the most to, but we got a lot of gappers here on the list. We should have Mitch here soon. Sometime soon here. A few other stuff popping up on my scanners that I keep kind of glancing over onto. FCX, FEYE, GBT. Big gap for GBT. We'll see where that one goes. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be back in like 2 minutes or so. All right, I'm back. All right, so yeah, watching AMD and GBT here. Um, Also keeping a close eye on CLVS and NIO. I think those are probably my four biggest watches. I think they're moving the most thus far in pre-market, so those are the ones I'm gonna really keep an eye on. Um, yeah, ACB's looking okay. Most of the cannabis stocks are up this morning. Who get those? And so we got most of them moving up, like CGC, CRON, NBEV, ACB. And so most of them are going up.
Yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, man? All right, guys, we got Mitch here.
What's going on, traders? Good morning. Let's get it.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Mitch is a lot cheerier than me in the open, it sounds like. In the morning, it sounds like, you know?
Hey, it's Monday morning. Always a better day,
Right.
especially when your fantasy teams go well.
Dude, the Saints lost. LSU lost last week. Man, I'm just not happy about sports right now. Nobody remind me of that A&M game last week. Nobody remind me of that game.
The FanDuel life.
Yeah, man. Nobody remind me, man. So Ruckus, so there's certain stocks. So the market is open right now, just not in the way you think. Like pre-market's open right now. So you see all these stocks, these gaps, this gray area here. It's all pre-market and after hours. And so the market is moving. These stocks are actually moving right now. And so I can look at the cannabis stocks like NBEV. See it's up. CRON is up. What was the other one? ACB is up. CGC is up. And so the cannabis stocks are up this morning.
Yeah, man, I got that fourth screen all going well, so the ultimate setup is done.
Nice.
I'm looking good now. Charts all over the place. Charts on charts.
On charts. Hey, NBEV's tradable. Hey, NBEV's tradable. I'm happy about that. You know, we could trade NBEV for what? CVLS?
Nice,
No.
MBEV tradable. I like that. It's
Yeah.
good to hear. I was actually kind of hoping that I saw it this morning. I was like, please hope they added it.
Yeah, let's see if they added or if CLVS is tradable. It is. Okay, so CLVS is tradable. What's the other one? GBT. It should be tradable. That one's got a lot of volume. Yeah, that one's tradable. All right, so this morning's not looking that bad. TRXC. Let's look at TRXC. No, that's one. IQ. Okay, IQ is tradable. AORN tradable. ACB tradable. VIPS. Hey man, everything on my watch list this morning is tradable except for one stock. So, not too bad. The only one that's not out of my watch list is TRXC. That's not too bad. Yeah, I don't know, Chi. I feel like if they were available to trade, people would be like, "See, look how bad they are," and then if they're not, people will be like, "See," and so I just feel like no matter what, TradeNet would probably get criticism for it. IQ. IQ's tradable, at least for me. I could trade IQ. I think most of those should be tradable, really. Especially like BABA. Yeah. Alibaba is tradable. IQ is tradable. They're all tradable. Yeah, they're all tradable for me at least. Chi. OGen. Yeah, man. OGEN has like the worst daily chart I've ever seen for any stock. Like, look at this thing. Fail, 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 fail. Every time it pumps up, it fails. What's up, Casey Mack? Yeah, man. I mean, it's pre-market trading, so like you can trade. What is it? When does the pre-market open up, Mitch? It opens up at like 6 my time,
It,
right?
well, to tell you the truth, it all depends. I mean, I've seen stocks open as early as 4:30 in the morning. Really, at the end of the day, brokers don't really allow you. At least most are not going to allow you until 8 a.m. 8 a.m. is when most brokers allow you to place orders. So that's pre-market. Pre-market essentially is trying to get the information, market makers to find the correct price level for where the price should open at. Um, it's not something that's traded often, and to actually signify an open on when pre-market does, it's not necessarily exactly at 6 a.m. or something like that. It changes up with the stock.
Right.
Some stocks you'll see open up really early. Some stocks you'll see kind of get no pre-market data.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't too bad. Um. Wait. Sorry. Yeah. Last week wasn't too bad. For me, it. Mitch always says trading comes in waves, and last week was one of the good waves for me. Not too bad. You know, not a bad graph. You can see my overall graph of November here. And so it's a profitable graph. Definitely had the biggest problem I had last month was this big drawdown on the 19th. But aside from that, it was a green graph. It was a good graph. Would have been a lot better if this drawdown wasn't here, but I'd still green on the month. And, I'll definitely take it. Last week was a much prettier graph. Let me see. Last week was a better graph. Technically, in gross profits, I didn't have any losing days, but I think I had 5 trades, 4 green, 1 red, so not too bad. So we'll see what we get to this week. Just gonna take it slow.
It's time to get those important price levels out. Figure out what you're gonna find out there in the market right now.
Yeah, I mean, Ruckus is saying I thought there was a rule, so I think it opens up at like 6, but I'm not sure. I think, like Mitch said, different stocks are gonna open up, but I think the set time for pre-market hours is like from 6 to 9:30, right? Something like that. I'm not sure. So we actually got Kron starting to tank here. We got Kron starting to wash. Let's see if NBEV does the same thing. I know Kron's, coming back down, filling some of this gap here. What's up, Fias? Good morning, man. Yeah, we got down gappers right here. APHA, a few people are talking about. Wow. Big down gap. Down is tradable, but big voluminous down gap. It is tradable, so interesting here. We'll see what we get. Oh, they're 4 a.m. to 9:30. I was way off then. But yeah, look at APHA. It's really crashing down some. Man, that means pre-market opens up at 3 a.m. for me. That's pretty early, man. Yeah, we'll see what ACB does here. I mean, it's just up on the overall sector, I think. I could look the news up. Hold on. All right, so with APHA, we'll look up some news real quick. Yep. I mean, mostly Ruckus. We'll go long every now and then, but I'm mostly a short trader. I just use what works for me. So APHA doesn't have any new stuff out on it. Like the last press release came out on the 30th. And so let me look from a different platform and see if I can find what's going on with APHA here. No, I'm not seeing anything new really with APHA. Last thing that came out was on the 30th. And it was about it closed a Tetra Biopharma closed a private placement of units with its strategic partner APHA, and that's what I see. I mean, it's a press release that came out on the 30th. Yeah, I couldn't find anything either. Secret Alpha put out a piece for a pitch on case conference. Okay, that makes sense. I wonder why I didn't see that one though. I haven't been seeing anything else on it this morning. But yeah, big watch today for me is CLVS, GBT, AMD, NIO, Cron, ACB, NBEV. Those 5 or 6 are ones I'm really watching. The other ones, they look alright, but those are the ones I'm really paying attention to. They bought abandoned buildings. Curious. What's up, George? Hey, appreciate the sub. Algero. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Algero. I think that's right. Algero. But I appreciate the sub regardless. So yeah, watching NBEV, AMD, NIO, CLVS. Those are gapped up a decent amount. Again, last week was a decent week. Yeah, NBEV's tradable for me. Last week was a decent week. I had it was definitely a profitable graph last week and really the whole month of November. I had a little bit of a drawdown on the 19th of November, but it's still a green upward graph. I know somebody came on here a while back and was like, y'all are always losing. Y'all are bad traders. This is a scam. You could see by my entire graph from November that it is green. Next step is just to bring it up, especially like I know the week before last I had a perfect week. I didn't lose at all. I didn't lose at all on any days. Daily accuracy is what I'm talking about. So last week before this previous week or the week before last, I think I had like one red day, one green day. So it might have been a down week slightly, but then last week was another really nice green week as well. And so yeah, it's just I gotta just work up the guts to scale up in sizing. Looking at these stats here, I'm happy with kind of how this went. I really like my stats from this past week. If you look at it, like my average hold time last week was 12 minutes for a winning trade and 5 minutes for a losing trade. Had 5 trades, 4 of them were green, 1 red. So 80% accuracy last week. And so yeah, the only thing I need to work on, my average winning trade's almost the same as my average losing trade. I need to get better risk reward, hold it to my levels a little bit longer. So we'll see how that goes. At this point, Reed, my goal is just to scale up in sizing. Like I just need to scale up in sizing. Like you can see from my graph, I'm a profitable trader. If you look at my graph, even if you look at the entire month of November, my graph is green. And so I'm using such small sizing that it doesn't actually reflect well on my account. And so I need to scale up a little bit. That's my next goal. I wouldn't really give myself maybe like $150 a week is what I would like. That's kind of a goal for now, but we'll see. It's possible. The graph's nice, but it's just about scaling up. That's my goal at this point. He was racist. No, I don't know, man. I think he's just. I think. I think the reason people like that come around is that there's certain people that they don't. They only upload their winning trades, right? So like over like a month's time, they'll post like one or two losing days out of an entire month of everyday trading. They'll post like two losing days. And the truth is like they're only uploading their winning trades. Like they're having losses, they're just not showing you their losses. And so I think new traders specifically like they watch them and they think that's what profitable trading is when it's not. They're like if they have four losses on a day and one winning trade, they upload that one winning trade like look how much money I made. And I think new traders see that and get the wrong impression. They think you need to be profitable every single day, and you're just never going to be unless you have a ridiculous strategy, which most people don't. And so it's just about like I said, like I'm honest with people about everything. Like I show people my trades, I live stream each trade I get into. And I think most people hide their account balance. Most people hide their profit and loss. They hide their trades. They may live stream every once in a while, but they're not being transparent. They're not showing people their losses. And I think new traders specifically need to understand that and understand that that's not really how it goes, and that that these people are just trying to make themselves look better. And like I said, I think it sets the wrong precedent for new traders. I think they get the wrong impression. They think that to be profitable, you have to win every single day, and you don't. But today, James, I'm watching NBEV, AMD, NIO, CLVS. There is GBT, and so not looking too shabby here. We got some movers. Let's look up some news. Gonna look up some cannabis news, see if the cannabis sector has any recent news on it. Alright, so NBEV put out a press release that they're jumping on a deal to buy Mirinda for $85 million. It's gonna buy the Utah-based beverage company Mirinda Incorporated for $85 million, which is placed out with $75 million in cash and $10 million in NBEV restricted stock. And so, curious to see where it goes from here. I mean, that's good news, but we'll see what NBEV does. Next one I'm looking at is CLVS. I think some of the other cannabis stocks are just up, most likely on sympathy from that news release. So we can look at CLVS here as well. Not really seeing anything new out on CLVS as well. If you know why CLVS is up, let me know. Looking at NIO here. NIO put out a press release that is providing 2018 monthly delivery and production update. Announces NIO Day, which is December 15th, 2018, as ES6 launch date. And so they're launching something on the 15th for NIO. In November, their stats show that they delivered 3,089 ES8 vehicles. Cumulative production of those vehicles exceeded 10,000 milestone. And they're launching ES6 on December 15th. And so all that is making NIO gap up some. We'll see where this one goes as well at the open. Curious to see what happens to it.
One of the good stocks that isn't tradable for us today, but looks good on the daily, especially for you long traders out there, ASNS. Definitely, I like the daily chart, like the amount of volume. Has a gap to fill up there. Next resistance is going to be up there. If it gets through the fives today, I could see it getting up there to 734.
It does have this big gap here. I mean, what caused this gap, though?
A lot of times it could be a lot of things. Could have been bad news or something like that. A reverse kind of inverse split. Could have been that.
That's what it looks like. It's something big. It's something like either an offering or a split, I think, just because that, very rarely will a stock gap down that much.
Exactly.
And just off of organic, like good or bad news. And so it does have that gap to fill, though. We'll see.
Yep. It'll be definitely one interesting. Just can't trade it, so
Yep.
take it out of the mind. Another stock that's making a move again that always has a tendency of coming up and down and up and down is CASI, CASI.
Is that one tradable? Probably
I don't
not.
think it is. Yeah, I'm just calling out stocks for the long traders out there.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, it's not
Looking
tradable.
out for them.
Right, for sure. I get it.
Exactly. But for me, main watch is going to be probably NIO or MBEV. I'm watching those stocks. AMD is one of them, but I need to see AMD break down through the support there. For me, it's going to be through that 22.11. I would like to see it make a move down to 22 so that eventually it can make a move down towards the second support, which is at 21.83.
Yeah, I mean, if AMD breaks 22, it could run. If it gets rejected there, it could short it.
I could see the support being touched probably 22.13, a little bounce probably into the 30s or low 30s, then it tanking down to that 22. It's kind of like the trade idea.
Right. I mean, lately, every single day, like, the way I've been watching this one is really just, if it makes a big push down at the open, I've traded for a fade. If it makes a big push up, it usually bounces as well. Like I said, if you look at my stats here from last week, almost every trade was on AMD. The one trade that wasn't on AMD last week was my losing trade. And so it kind of shows, like, when you back test something, it really does give you a good idea on how to trade it and how to approach it. And AMD is one of those that showed up in the back testing results, and so it's just one that I got to focus on for sure as well. NBEV and NIO have both been nice as well. There's also IQ gapping up some.
IQ is what stock does that move with? There's one that moves exactly like it.
Let me look it up.
Yeah.
Let me see what sector it is, basically.
Yeah, I know it's.
We put a research report out for this one.
Yeah, I think if I'm not incorrect, it's Huya. Is it a Chinese stock?
Yeah, yep.
Yep, so I'm right. It's Huya.
So IQ is up. I think this overall sector is up because there's optimism in a trade.
That's where the other one
truce.
Is. Huya.
Like a trade deal with China is what's going on. There's optimism in that, and so that's why they're moving.
All right, be interesting. Also, NIO below 8 has a big resistance there, guys. Big range right here. Nice little tight consolidation over the last couple of days. We have resistance at 821 and support there at 804. 804 is what I want to see. Pretty much $8 break down and let it get down below that.
Yep.
Short it.
Doesn't look bad. A lot of options today. There's actually really a lot of gaps. And so we'll find something.
TSRO. Let me see if that's tradable. To even take a look at it. Hate looking at stocks that I can't trade.
I'm pretty sure it probably is tradable.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, it's a $73 stock at this point.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know what's going on with it. Yeah.
My man John wants me to check it out. Let's see it. Woo! Some extension for sure.
Well, I think this might be either an acquisition or a split. It's got to be. I'm guessing. Yeah, else. It's an acquisition. Okay, so yeah, it's an acquisition. All
right. Well, there's two options here, guys. At least from this stock on the daily, it looks like it's trying to get to that 80, 84. Now the question is, do you feel the risk and reward is going to be valued enough here as the stock is very extended? You could also see a massive drop today. it could drop about half the bar and create kind of that pullback for that launch of a flag. Definitely one to watch. Got to be careful though. The range is going to be big. I'm sure the spread is going to open up a little bit, but it could be a mover today. If it is an
Definitely.
acquisition, a lot of times, sometimes they for like a day or two, they kind of stay in the same price range and then surge.
Right.
So
Yeah, we'll see what we get. I like NBEV AMD today. Those are probably and NIO. I like NIO as well. Hold it down real
NIO,
quick. I'll be back.
NIO getting a little volume there.
Yep.
It's going to be very important through that 821 price range. MBEV, I'm going to be watching also. All right. How we doing, guys? I'm looking at MBEV, checking out the important levels from MBEV. I can tell you guys right now that this stock has potential maybe to get to that resistance 656. If you see the daily on this, we're kind of getting a really strong flag pattern on the dailies from the wheat stocks, whether that be Cron or NIO. I haven't taken a look at CGC, but I expect to see the same thing. Yep, you can draw a downward trend line. John, I haven't played too many options just because I did a lot of research for a while. Before I started day trading, I was looking into being more of an options trader, and I actually have a finance degree, so I was looking to move towards Chicago and start uh, trading options. And what I got to is that options can be very complicated. I started learning more about trading with the Greeks and selling options. I think that's really the way to go. You have to learn how to be able to sell options because I think when you trade options, you, I don't think it's about trading for home runs with options. I think it's about learning how to hedge your trade and essentially always make at least a credit. When you trade for premium in options, you usually have a better outcome. I learned a lot of this through a resource called Tasty Trades. Tasty Trades. So if you want to check that out, John, maybe check out Tasty Trades. I don't know if you ever heard them, but it's from it's actually from Thinkorswim. It's the creator of Thinkorswim.
Yeah, man. Dude created the best
All right,
platform.
seeing CGC kind of do the same thing. TLRY.
Sorry, I had myself muted on your end, Mitch. But yeah, the dude that created Thinkorswim is the founder, or the dude that is like that runs Tasty Trade is the founder of Thinkorswim. Like he's the one that created the Thinkorswim platform and then sold it over to TD Ameritrade eventually. But it's probably one of the best platforms I've seen. I don't know if I agree with him in a few things. Like there's some stuff I don't agree with him, and like he's one of those people that they do not they do not believe that you can be profitable as a day trader. They think that it's impossible to be a green day trader, you know. And I respect his opinion and everything. Obviously, it is possible. I think it's one of the harder types of trading you can do, but it's definitely possible.
Yep. Hey, at the end of the day, it's like I talked about. He's much more into what I call trading for credits, and that's learning to kind of sell premium so that you can get into better and better trades, essentially make percentage as your equity builds versus time trying to make it on one trade. Um, they have some very cool strategies, a lot of back testing that's important into any options play. You got to learn how to back test them, which is pretty difficult. It's not nowhere near as easy as back testing a stock, just because there's other factors to play into. Um, but the really cool thing of options is you can essentially learn how to hedge a lot of your bets and learn how to get out of your bad positions, um, make better trades, uh, complicated strategies like uh, narrow narrow strangles, stuff like that, where you can make money with the stock going up and down. You know, a lot of traders trade kind of these extended options. John likes to do the like when it's extended to put a put on it.
Yep.
A lot of option traders will actually put a two-way trade where they'll make money based on volatility. The only thing they care about is that the price either goes up or down,
Right.
and that's just a completely different trade. You just don't want the price to remain the same. You're
Right.
trading for volatility, so there's a lot of different strategies you can play into options. That's why, for at least for the time being, and until I can master this, I think I'm going to be a day trader by equities. And in the long run, once I have enough cash, I'll be able to play some more options. Probably do the same as John, kind of take down these penny stocks and learn some penny stock options. I think it's possible, but it's
Yeah,
something that
for
you
sure.
got to really learn and take time, just like it is in day trading.
For sure.
And at least I know I've put in a lot more effort into my day trading, so I'll stick with those skills for now.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things. Everything you learn is kind of a process. I think the way I've been approaching options works though. Like if you find these, they're a little bit more rare. Like you're not going to find them every day. Not you're going to be able to find overextended stocks every day, but you're not going to be able to find ones that actually have options, specifically put options available for sale. But when you find one, it usually ends up working out really well. You know, like the last really home run I had was QD. And just a very easy option. You can look at it. If I go to the daily chart, I bought a put option up here after this big gap down or gap up and just wrote it down. And I think if you can find ones like this where you get these big overextended moves and then the consequent fades back down, I think you can make money with them. But it's just about finding them. I think that's the hardest part. But yeah, watching AMD, NBEV, NIO, CLBS probably as my main ones. We'll see what the
Yeah.
rest of them do.
I don't know why, but I don't like that CLBS as much. But then again, my niche is in the probably $5 to $10 range. That's where I make the most of my money, guys.
Right. I mean,
So I try to stick it.
I usually do the best at like 20, 25 to like 15 is really what I've been doing the best with.
IQ tanking hard. Yep.
Yeah, IQ just big drop.
Getting
Curious to see.
support there at 21.48.
Yeah, right at that $half. All right, guys, we got about 40 seconds left, so good luck all. Let's make some money today. If not, let's have a decent week. Take it slow. Be ready.
I can expect a quick drop in Huya maybe after this, but remember they move. They're in the same sector, but doesn't mean they move exactly the same. Move similar though.
Let's pull up the intraday scans. All right, we got the intraday scans up. Let's see what we get this morning. All right. All right, Mitch. Daily goals for us. Stick to the strategy.
Yep.
Get
Let's
good
do it.
risk reward. Let's do it, man.
Let's do it, guys. Here's the open.
All right. So AMD pushing up some. It looks like
You know what's funny? I don't even have a bell. I think it helps.
the bell. I
Yeah,
like
I
the
don't
bell.
have a bell. No, I don't need a bell. I
Kind
feel
of.
like the bell creates pressure,
Yeah, I can kind of see how it might.
psychologically at least.
Right. You get a bell going off. You feel like it's crunch time. You know.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you gotta go, you gotta go.
Right.
Nah, it's not the time to go. It's
Right.
time to look.
All right, we got NBEV dropping here. I don't think the VWAP is quite low enough for this to set up for a fade, at least for what I like to trade. I think if it pushed up to the VWAP now, it'd be too close to like a red to green washout long move. Um, IQ is still just tanking here. ACB tanking too. AMD pushing up. ACB doesn't look that bad. VWAP still needs to drop some though. But ACB doesn't look that bad. Gonna look for a bigger drop though. That's ultimately what I look for. Is just a bigger drop here. Got to see the VWAP drop along with it. If the VWAP doesn't drop along with it, it's not
AQL going off, guys.
CLVS fading some or tanking down as well. IQ bouncing back. Let's see what we get.
Yep. Booyah with a nice gap and crap.
All right, AMD giving some of this back here. Gonna watch it for a subsequent fade. You got to make sure what broker you're using, Marcus. If you're using TEFs, you got to make sure it's tradable on there. All right, ATOS popping up on my scanners. AETI popping up here. We got AMD.
Seeing a big share coming up on NIO, guys. 38,000 shares there at 809.
All right, AMD is pulling back down some here after a big run at the open. Look at ACB here, maybe. ACB is kind of creeping back up to that.
I'm watching NIO right now, looking interesting. Almost wish I would have got in there early because it was literally, I could see the shorter step in there. 38,000 shares there at 809.
We got AMD bouncing back here. Looks like it's gonna be
maybe crushed through that.
I know, man. That's what. This is probably one of the ones I'm watching the most now. Specifically NBEV and maybe ACB a little bit as well. If ACB gets up to 593s, I don't hate it. Like I said, I'm going for bigger sizing this week. I'm making myself use 200 shares, and so we'll see how it goes. Just about scaling up now.
Seeing that $8 get hit hard right now on NIO.
Definitely a big drop. That's what we look for. AMD, don't know how I like AMD now. Too choppy. Let's see if we get a move up for NBEV though. Up to 524s, I could set a risk of 535, 534 for a 20-cent or 10-cent risk on NBEV. I don't think that's bad necessarily. The problem with it is it's filled a lot of this gap already, but we'll see if it can climb back up to that 520s level. If it can do that, I don't mind taking it. All right, NBEV trying to fight back here. It's up to 508. If it gets up to 520, I don't mind taking it here. It's a big if, though. It kind of faded pretty hard down there. It may take a little while to get back up there, but we'll see. ACB taking some as well. Man, AMRN. Look at AMRN.
Smashed.
Look at AMRN. Oh, it looked tempting. I'm glad I didn't jump in AMRN. It looked like a perfect fade.
All right, I need a bounce here. 804s, 805s here for NIO. Little part of me is like,
it's all right.
Could have got that opening short, saw the trade, but that's not the strategy, guys.
Right.
I'll stick to the strategy.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, the bigger the drop. No, I'm looking at it for a short, Louis.
Maybe Huya or IQ.
IQ, I mean, IQ is way too choppy for me, at least. Like, it's just kind of... It's got a lot of resistance above it, but it's just kind of choppy looking right now.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, look at VIPS. VIPS here. VIPS looks like a fade here. Let's see if we can get it. I'm a little late catching this one, so I got to start calculating my risk. My risk would be at about 606.
I
Just
like
not.
610.
Yeah, 610, 607, 606 isn't bad. It has to get up to 599 first, though. Um, and so it would have to get back up there before I take it. Let's see what the spread is like. Spread's not bad. We got the big drop. Now it's just about. I think I might have missed it. I just noticed it, and so let me also look at this. It doesn't have that much room either. I mean, really, realistically, only down to about 579, 580 is where I would like to take it. And so it's kind of one of those ones where it's like, yeah, it looked good when it was up there. Now it's just whether it gets back up there. Cron tanking.
Yeah, wheat stock's getting hit hard.
Yep.
I would love to see a bounce for Cron. View at rejection here off of 925.
Keeping an eye on ACB as well. Yeah, AMRN faked another fade. I'm just glad I didn't jump in it. I didn't get trapped into it. Nice two-way. Good job, brother.
All right, expecting a little bounce here. I'm looking for Cron or NIO here.
I'm looking for MBEV to get up to 520s. VIPS, I don't know how I feel about it now. I wouldn't mind. There's a few different ones in these cannabis stocks that are getting hit hard. Specifically, I think CGC is probably getting hit the hardest. Maybe CGC and Cron there. I think they're probably getting hit the hardest.
All right, putting out an order at 805 here, guys, for NIO. Expecting a little boost above the resistance there, as it's been holding for too much down at the bottom. Expecting a little bounce to 805, and then I'll be able to risk off of that 813 or 810.
Yeah, NBEV is buying Marinda, but it is it's already gapped up a ton, and I'm sorry, I just think it's a bad company. But we'll see. I mean, who knows? It washed out some.
Yep, nice view at fade on Huya. Called that one out.
Yeah, that one did follow through really nicely. It's kind of what I was looking for VIPS right here, VIPs, but it just never. By the time I saw it, I missed that first consequent push to the VWAP at 6. I think it would have had a tight wrist, though. Hey, that's good, man. Marcus, green is green, brother. Yeah, oh yeah. Faded beautifully there. Perfect. At this point, VIPS may be kind of hanging out up here too long.
CDTI, not tradable for us, but on the momentum scanner, CDTI.
NBEV just never got high enough. Watching NIO as well. If it gets up to 8, I'll take it probably, but we'll see. Watching ACB too. NIO or NBEV just didn't get up there, man. I mean, I was looking for it to get up to 517s. It just never got up there. It's testing those lows now. I definitely don't like it anymore. Now if it fades back, it just means too much buying pressure if it gets back up there. I mean, Huya had a nice little fade there, but yeah, there goes NBEV getting hit, man. Short is jumping in this one a lot once it broke that low. Looking at ACB here, ACB can get up there. I mean, it's already filled the whole gap, though. That's the problem. Like, it's already filled that entire gap here. VIPS is another one I'm looking at, but it's just, I don't like this higher low there.
I'm watching IQ right now. I think I just missed it also. Need a bounce here to get in. Might have missed it. The Brogen.
I mean, I'm looking at VIPS at this point.
Yeah, Julia and IQ. Those look nice. Just kind of missed them.
Still early on the day. We'll probably be able to still find something. But yeah, VIPS is right up there now. Like I said, though, this higher low it put in, I don't trust it as much. there's too much of a chance that it's going to break this $6 level and continue pushing.
Not seeing it there.
Vips is up there, but like I said, there's just too much of a chance like it's going to break this previous high. It's right up to the VWAP though, but not going to force that one.
Yeah. It's one of those todays where I saw the shortest immediately jump in there on the cannabis stocks. I just couldn't take the trigger, but
Yeah,
definitely saw them jump in there really quickly.
I mean,
38,000 shares at the open.
for me, I just didn't see any like follow through with the strategy. Like NBEV never got there, NIO didn't get there, CRO had never got there, CGC didn't either. And so a lot of these are just filling the gap. They're not really giving me an entry, I'd say. We'll see where VIPS goes here.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm thinking about it right here. It's had a down one, up one, down two, up two. I'm gonna let it create this $6 resistance. Let it come down a little bit, and then if it pops down to like about 93 here, and then bounces up a little bit to 96, I'll take a 4-cent risk on this trade. But I wanted to create a curve appeal here on VIPS because you can get that instant squeeze here through the 6.
Right. That's what I don't want as well. I don't like that squeeze up.
Yeah, I like to wait for it to get a curve here, kind of a reversal.
Right.
You see that doji? We don't want it above 6 here.
Right.
If it gets above 6, and it could break out right up there to the 620s.
NIO tanking here. I mean, it's still early. It's only 12 minutes into the day. And so I'm sure we'll be able to find something still. But if not, no stress either. IQ's back up to the VWAP. Looks a little bit better.
Yeah, IQ, I would do like 55s so you can risk off the 63s.
CLVS is another one I'm looking at. CLVS. If it gets up to the VWAP, I'll consider it. CGC starting to pull back, so we might see some of these cannabis stocks start to pull back a little bit here. Maybe VIPS was the one, man. I mean, who knows? It's trying to fail at 6, but it's just about whether it's going to. I just didn't like the fact, like, it put in that higher low when it found support at 590, and then it kind of continued to push towards 6. So it just looked too bullish for me. You're in Brogen two-way. What's Brogen doing? Getting a little bit of a washout long for Brogen there. We'll see if it breaks that 170 area where it had pre-market support or pre-market resistance. Yeah, IQ's up there. Risk can be pretty tight, it looks like. CLVS trying to climb up here.
All right, guys, I want to see VIPS jump up a couple cents, probably to 598, and I'll take it.
Hey, no worries, Enduro. Nice work, brother. Good job, man.
Let's see this. Kind of rejection off of this levels. IQ looking nice now.
I know, I was looking at it.
I almost got 53s. I got a rejection. Keep trying to do limits. I just got to stick to the market.
I mean, I've seen a lot of ones that had a big...
I said 53 off of 63. Perfect trade plan right there.
Are you in it?
No, I didn't get filled. I put an order out. Just didn't get filled.
Yeah, VIPS is looking better for us. It's not looking bad. I like the turn down. It's underneath the VWAP. It built some resistance up at 6, like you were saying. And so it's not looking that bad here. Risk would have to be, I don't know, 606, 607. So pretty tight risk. Maybe 605.
All right, guys. I'm short there.
On VIPS?
VIP at VIPS. Going off the 6 here, guys. 601 would get me out here.
A lot of red on the time and sales rolling through.
Looking to take
See if we
profit,
get that
guys.
drop.
It would be 87s, 80s.
What's up, James? Welcome back, brother. Welcome back, man. I'm looking at a CLVS here. There you go. I almost took it with you, brother, but I hope it works out for you, man. Oh, look at CGC here. Whoa. CGC is just about what kind of sizing should I take with this one, man. It's such a big stock, big moving stock, but that fade right now is on point for CGC here. It's right there, man. Tight wrist too. I'll go ahead and take 100 with this one, even though it's fast moving. Risk of... have to do 40s, 43s maybe. Alright, I'm in with 100 shares on CGC. May have jumped in a little late, but looking for it to fade back down under 14. A little bit bigger sizing because this is a faster moving stock, and so I got to be careful with it. But I'm liking the drop. We'll see if we get this break under 14 is what I'm ultimately looking for here on CGC. A little bit larger sizing relative to the range of the stock because it definitely has a bigger range here. Just looking for it to break under 14 and fade back down some off the VWAP. Let's see if we can get that move. It's got a little bit larger spread, but that means it can move a little bit faster for me here. So we'll see what we can get. Still testing that $34 level. Trying to break underneath it. See if we get a subsequent fade here. '97s, nice. '90s, beautiful here.
All right, looking good for me. I
I
put
can
out
take a
my
little bit off here.
I have my profit order out right now, guys, at 83s, guys.
I'm letting this one fade. So I took 50 shares off. I'm comfortable in the trade for CGC. A little bit more expensive than I typically trade, but I've protected myself with this one thus far. I'm just going to let the rest work, see if it can fade down to the 70s. Ideally, fading down to the 50s would be really nice. And so we're going to give it that time here. I've protected myself in the trade enough to where I think I'm okay. Back down to 90s, 80s. Let's see if we can break that low here. That's ideally what I'd like it to do. I'm comfortable enough in it. I've taken profits enough in it to where I'm alright. Just want to see it continue to drop here. It's already followed through well. Down to 88, 87, back up to 90s. Finding some support there. So now it's kind of the make or break level between 34 and that previous low in the 80s there. Yeah, that's right, Eddie. Don't cover too soon is probably what you mean. 100%. I'm going to let it work. Give it some time.
All right, guys, I'm just going to pay myself here on the first support level of 87 here. Pay myself just a little bit just to stay in this trade without no stress now. I'll just let the trade work. If it comes down below, we're going to look for that 580 and then a move down.
There's 87s. Good. I'm just going to hold this one, see if we can get down to 70s. 85s. Nice. 84s. Gonna try to let the rest work for me here. 79s. Let's see if we can get that spread to even out. Drop under down to 75 here. See if we get that break. Beautiful fade so far, down to 79s, looking good. 75s. I'll let it work for me here. I'm looking to get a drop down to the 750s. May bounce off of 75 some here, but I'm gonna let this rest little shares work. 72s, not too bad. 69s. See if we get a continuous drop here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get out. $25 gain there. I let it work. Maybe got out a little bit early, but I took most of the fade, I think. But I'll take it for sure. $25 day, or $25 so far on the day. So I'll take it. Maybe could have let it work to 35.50. But I took 100 shares of this stock, and you may say, well, you said you were going to do 200 shares today. The reason I took 100 shares is because the range is so big on this stock. It has a big range. It moves a lot. And so with that, I kind of have to let it work a little bit, or, not use the full sizing I would with like a stock, say, under $20, since it has a bigger range. Are you still in VIPS, Mitch?
Yep, still in.
Here, let me throw Mitch up here.
All right, guys, waiting for this to crack down. This is where I originally was going to take some profit. I took it a little bit up at this support here. Looking for a move down to the low of the day.
Appreciate it, Enduro. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, Outsiders. Yeah, man, it's been a good week or so, man. I've been, I've been doing really well with the fade lately, so let's see. Hope it keeps going, guys. What's up, Salty? What's up, brother? Scans are up, man. I'm letting people see Mitch's trade right now. But I'll put the scans back up, brother. Once Mitch finishes his trade, I'll put the scans back up, man. I'm just letting people watch his right now.
All right, guys, seeing this collection here at the bottom here. Just waiting, see what's going to happen here. There's some volume getting bought up again. Let's see if we get a swing right back down to the day of low, or bounce up to the VWAP here. All right, looks like we're getting this bounce up here. Our entry is going to be right at VWAP, guys, 595.
Here, let me pull this one up on my chart so I can watch it with you. You're in VIPS, right? VIPS? Okay. I'm up on CGC on a cannabis stock tester. I'm up. Mitch is up too, but he's currently in it right now on VIPS.
Yep. HDSN going off the high day momentum, and there also is OCUL. OCUL.
Let me see if I can pull my scanners up even with you here. I can put the high of day memo up here. See what else I can find here.
All right, gonna test this support down here at 85s again. Let's see if it can break through the 785s here.
All right, we got breaking out on volume. All right, so we got these two scans up for you, Salty. You should be able to see those, right? No, you can't see those. My monitor's too big. I can throw these up here.
The one that was pretty was IQ. IQ's been pretty.
Oh, Eddie, man, Eddie, I didn't listen, brother. I know, man. Harley, don't remind me, man. Man, it's one of those things where it's like there's a fine line between like taking profits and being okay with taking profits there, or just missing out on a big move. Um, and there goes CGC, man. Perfect fade, beautiful fade, exactly what I look for. And sold about what 30 cents too early. I took about half the move, but man, look at CGC, man. I'm telling you, I noticed the fade. It was one of those beautiful, beautiful fades that I don't usually trade CGC because it's a little bit more expensive than what I usually go for, and the range is a little bit larger. But once I saw the fade, I had to take it. It just looked too pretty, and so ended up missing out on some of that move. A green trade's a green trade, but man, I reviewed my trades yesterday in class, and one of the holes was selling too soon. Man, I took profits too soon. I sold too soon, and that's exactly what I did with this one as well. Definitely a hole in my game. I gotta I gotta plug the hole, man. I gotta do better. Appreciate it, Harley. Yeah, I mean it was just a perfect fade, a big drop, a lot of volume, move back to the VWAP.
All right, guys, I took a little bit off there as we're holding at the support. And whenever we hold that support, we're probably going to get that momentum back to the VWAP here, guys. So I took just enough to where I'm comfortable even holding a little bit above my wrist now. I have $21 on this trade. I have 200 shares left. So I can let the breakdown happen or I can let it push up now. Pressure's off, guys. I can let this trade try to break down this 85s that it keeps holding at.
Ugh, look at CGC, dude.
Yeah, look at Kron.
I
They
know, man.
followed it. I think I might get this down move now.
I
I'll
think
get the pressure. I got some ads that happened there at 87 and both at 87, 10,000 shares and 8,000 shares. It's IQ was a good one. Um, AMD is pushing strong. It's looking like a VWAP bounce kind of stock. Did a crazy VWAP bounce.
honestly I'm kicking myself for CGC. I mean I took profits. It wasn't bad for a 100 share trade, but man, kicking myself for that one, man. It's down to 33 now, so it's down about 60 cents under where I exited it. I got about I made about, let me see.
DTRM coming up the high day momentum scanner.
I mean, I made about 50 cents a share on this trade. Missed out on about $1.50 though. But I made 50 cents a share. I'll take it, but man, I think the bigger mistake, not that I sold that last one too soon. I think I sold the first one too early. I rushed into profits, and I was green on the trade. I was more comfortable in it, but I think that was the bigger mistake for me with CGC.
You rush into profits, you won't have enough to let it go.
Right, that's exactly what I
If you
mean.
do rush into profits, you need to accept that. Okay, well then that's going to be the only amount that I'm going to be willing to hold on to.
Right, for sure.
Let the trade work.
Right, for sure.
And it's just a part of it, you got to understand if you're going to take some early, you might as well just take the whole trade off and realize that you're being emotional.
Right, 100%.
Sometimes it's going to be better just to take the whole trade off and realize, hey, I was going to take the trade off early, and it essentially kind of kills you because you can't hold to your important levels. You have to at least pay yourself a little bit. But if you only have a little bit of shares, you can cause yourself to kind of ruin the trade for yourself.
Right, for sure. I mean, I don't think it was a good call out. But here's the thing, it's like you said, I took that first profit too early. And I actually let that second profit work a lot more. Like I let that second profit drop about 30 cents for me. And so I let the second profit really work. The first profit I took too soon, and so by the time I took the second profit, I didn't really have enough shares to let it keep going. And so that's the big mistake there. I mean, it kind of shows you that even when you have a green trade, you could still kind of have some mistakes in that trade, and you still need to review it. And that's one of the things I need to
100%. All right, guys, don't want this back up past 590s, guys. It's just been holding way too much down here. If it tests up here, it can very easily get back up to 6. The stock doesn't have a huge range for the day, so don't want it past 90 here, guys. 91 is just going to get me out. I'll take the last little bit for commissions. Let's see if it tried to do a 590 fake out here.
I can see it. It's got some resistance right around there. If you look over to your left,
right there. That's why I'm doing 591s and not 590s. There's 591s getting filled there.
Hey, appreciate the sub, Mr. Bo in Ghana. Appreciate it.
Let's see if it pulls down to 89 right here.
Nice job, Abdul. Nice work, brother. Good job, man.
There you go. Gonna hit hard again.
Appreciate the sub, Charles. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I gotta lower these scanners so I can look at your level too.
Yeah. I'm out. I'll take that trade, guys.
Yeah, all green trade.
$27, guys. $27. I'm gonna watch it make a third resistance. It should make it near the $6 mark. We're not gonna hold and lose on this trade. Lose some of this money here. Took it off. $27 there, and gonna watch it here now.
For sure. I was kind of keeping an eye on that one too.
It's not enough range there to stay in it, anyways. If it gave me a 30-cent potential breakdown, then I'd probably stay in it. But since it's only 10 cents and the actual flag is only a maximum of 20 or 30 cents, it's not as
ideal
as some of the other trades out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, normally, we would add it when it got back to the VWAP. The only reason I don't like that either, I think you probably saw the same thing, is that it actually put in a higher low on that move back down, and it followed through. You could have taken profits like Mitch did, but it's actually a higher low relative to the move before it, and so for that reason, I think, I don't know, it obviously could fade, but it makes me not trust it as much, if that makes sense.
Another stock making a move today, guys, is LFVN. Not really know too much about that stock, but let's see what else is out there.
Twitter kind of bouncing off the VWAP some there.
Oh, PTI up today.
Yeah, no volume though.
Yep. There's IQ right back. I think it's already too late in the pattern.
But yeah, this is when I really need to attack, man. It's been a good week, man. It's been a good week in a few days. Really, it's been a good month. This is the month I should have really started to pull away with profits. I didn't have the guts to use bigger sizing. Honestly, with CGC, I did use bigger sizing because it was a $35 stock. I used 100 shares. That's bigger sizing definitely than what I'm used to. And so I think this wasn't bad, but it's really that time, man. I'm curious to see my graph on TraderView. Let's see what we get here. Try to put this graph in here for trader view. My entry was actually a little bit worse than I wanted it to. It was at 35.04 or 34.05 is what I'm just now noticing. So I got in a little. I'm glad I made it, but maybe a little early. Maybe a little late actually. I think it had already faded.
AVAL.
You said ADAL?
AVAL.
Oh.
Unfavorable, but just moving.
Sorry, I'm trying to upload this last trade to Trader View so I can see my new graph. Alright, that should do it. See if I did this right. Alright, that's one. Yeah, watching AVAL pop up here. Let's see what it looks like.
Watching IQ here, guys.
IQ back up to the VWAP. We'll see what we get there.
Just thinking here off of 48, but I wanted to bounce up closer to the resistance first.
There we go. Alright, I got my new trade imported. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a pretty graph so far, man, in the last 30 days. Look at that graph. I'll take it for sure. That big drawdown on the 19th wasn't ideal, but, you know, not too bad. Let's see what we get in the last week or so. In the last 6 days. 83% accuracy rate in 6 days. I'll take it for sure.
Missed that IQ. That was a beauty.
Vips kind of back up there.
IQ was the trade right there.
Yeah, I just faded back down sub.
Those get me mad because the trade's there. Just Straight up hesitated it. The trade was there, 10-cent risk. First profit here at 25s. Next profits at 10s or below.
What's up, Tesser? No stress, man. Can someone suggest me any real-time trading simulator for practice? Um, the best way, yeah, IQ, man. Just now noticing it. I mean, there's a few options you can use, man. It all just depends on what you're really looking for, you know. I use On Demand, which is free, which is Thinkorswim. I use On Demand, but you know, it's not real time. You're not going to be able to simulate the market. Most of the time, you have to pay for them. Like I know, there's a few other man. I know there's a few of them that you can pay for. Like DOS Pro has one. I don't know if Tefs has one. They might. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at VIPs now here. Also, NIO doesn't look that bad. I mean, it put in a double top there for NIO. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. But man, CGC was definitely the one to take today, man. That was like the best fade I've seen in a while. Beautiful, beautiful follow through. Just missed it. Or I didn't miss it. I missed out on some of it, I should say. But man, IQ also faded nicely there. NIO right around there. VIPs. And so, you know, today seems like a good day for fades. For people, yeah, I've heard people say that. So yeah, Thinkorswim's real time. You just have to contact them and change the settings. I have heard that. What's up, Dex? How you doing, brother?
Another one that is for paper trading can be TC 2000.
They have paper traded with TC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watching Bips here.
Green is good, Dex. Green is good, man.
All right, guys. I'm short there, guys, on 92s off of 97s here. 5-cent risk for Bips.
Yeah, it's a good day for me. I mean, I'm happy with it. It's kind of bittersweet, you know. Green Day, great, you know, but I missed out on a lot more, and so you know, bittersweet. But green is green, I guess. You know, I'm happy with my trading lately. Like you can see my graph here. My graph's pretty good. You know, not a bad graph for the last 30 days or so. And so you know, not too shabby. I'll take it. The last week or so has really been good though. Nice little graph here. Haven't had a losing day in gross profits since before last week, and so it's been pretty good.
All right, guys. Like I said, I'm short here on VIPS.
Oh, you're back in. Oh, my bad, man.
No, you're good.
There you
go. That IQ trade, I would be taking my second profits right now and would have let it just work. So that would have been a great trade right there.
Yeah, no, I saw that one too.
Yeah, that was called out perfectly. I just hesitated on that one.
Wake up call. I mean, there's lots of different brokers. I'll be right back. I'll go over it in a second, but there's lots of different options, man.
You got to stick real tight with this VIPS trade now, guys. It's definitely on the verge. I don't want it past those 95s.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, I mean, it all just depends, man. It just depends on what you want to trade with. Wake up call. I mean, if you're willing to go to the overseas broker, the offshore broker world, you're probably gonna find some sketchy stuff with every one of them. But I use TEFs, which is TradeNet, and yeah, there's been a lot of nonsense with them lately. Not with TradeNet themselves, but just drama in the trading world about TradeNet. Like I said, though, it's all overseas brokers. They all do the same thing. And so it's just about whether you want to enter that world or not. U.S. brokers, I mean, the only real one that lets you trade with no PDT rule that's actually in the U.S. is U-Stock Trade, but they do what the other brokers do as well. Like U-Stock Trade has super users, so like they take the other side of your trade as well. And so basically, any broker that's going to let you day trade with less than 25K is usually going to take the other side of your trade. I mean, I don't mind it as much if they pay out. They pay out. That's all I care about. But I guess you do want to understand about that about them, and that they all do it. And so it's just about whether if you only like going long and maybe you're holding it a little bit longer, you're not really trading as much off momentum. U stock trade might be a good option. If you like shorts, TradeNet might be a good option. If you like going both, TradeNet, Sure Trader maybe. It all just depends on what you look for, how you're going to trade. They all have their different pros and cons, and so it's just about what your specific style of trading is, what you're specifically looking for in that as well, and so it just depends, man. Sure Trader. Here's the thing with Sure Trader, right? Like Sure Trader, um, I love their platform. Like I like the DOS platform. I do like the DOS platform. The only problem, or the biggest problem that I have with Sure Trader is that they're just so expensive. Each trade you get into, commissions are going to be like 15, 16 bucks. Platform fees, if you're using their platform, are going to be a few hundred a month, like 175 or something like that a month. Um, and it's just kind of one of those things where it's like if you're starting it off with a small account, it's kind of hard to survive on Sure Trader just because they're so expensive. And the thing about Sure Trader is like Sure Trader takes the other side of your trades as well. Like Sure Trader, Sure Trader has lots of shorts, and the reason they have so many shorts is because they take the other side of your trade. So it's like they make a market and they take the other side of your trade, and so it's like if you make money shorting, they're losing money on Sure Trader. Um, TradeNet, people say the same thing about TradeNet, and maybe it's true. I don't know. All I know is that people say they pay out, and I know it's a lot cheaper than Sure Trader specifically, and so it just depends on what you're looking for, you know. Biggest flaw with TradeNet, I think, is that some stocks are not tradable. That's easily the biggest flaw for me, at least. Like if you only like momentum trading, cheap stocks under $5, it's probably not for you. Just because you're gonna have a hard time finding those stocks to trade on there. I've never used CME Group. I've never used CME Group, and so I can't really. Have used, I've used Sure Trader, I've used U Stock Trade, I've used TradeNet, obviously, and TEFs. I never used CME. They're a little bit newer, so I can't tell you whether they're good or bad. You know. What's your entry? 92.
92.
Okay. So we get a fade back down for you to that low. Say like 2000. Um, all right. So here's the thing, Eddie. Um, TradeNet, you could start with an intro package. It's like $500. It just depends though. There's U stock trade, but U stock trade with 2 grand. It depends on how big of sizing you're gonna take with that 2 grand. The bigger the sizing on U stock trade, generally the worse fills that you're gonna get. But commissions are cheap. If you only want to go long, maybe U stock trade is good for it. Sure Trader with 2,000, like I said, I mean you can do it on Sure Trader, but it's expensive on Sure Trader. Like the platform's expensive, commissions are expensive, and so it just depends on the way you're gonna trade, Eddie. It really just depends, man. They're all good for different things, right? Like the reason I use TradeNet, for instance, is because there's lots of shorts. Um, I can use small sizing and get decent fills and not have a ton of commissions, and the platform's cheap. If you're trying to take bigger sizing, and really just take a swing, and you're not as worried about losing that 2K, you could go for Sure Trader or Ustock. Ustock trade, you're going to get a little bit worse fills, but it all just depends on how you're trying to trade. Yeah, but he's using Sure Trader and their parent company, Ebro, and so I think it's kind of funny. I wonder why he's not doing a review of Sure Trader and their parent company. It's probably because he's promoting them. But you know, no stress. It doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I'm very passive, but I just think they all do it. All overseas brokers do the same thing. If you dig deep enough into any of these overseas brokers, you're gonna find some dirt. I mean, on all of them, and so it just seems like a conflict of interest for him to never.
All right, guys, gotta be careful here, guys. Can't let it go above 595.
Yeah, check with them to be sure. I'm not. It's not 170 a year. It's per month, Florin, and that's why I said that's why it's a little bit more expensive. Like if you want the DOS platform with level 2 and time and sales, it's gonna be over 100. It's gonna be like 100 and something, like 150, 175 maybe. Right. I mean that makes the most sense, Dex. He's obviously working with Speed Trader and Sure Trader because he is interviewing that same trader. Like he put out that trade interview with the guy, and then Speed Trader put out another interview with the same guy. And so he's obviously working with Sure Trader and Speed Trader some, and that's probably where his interest lies, and that's probably why he's doing it. The truth is, like I said, I'm not one of these people that just kind of blindly defends any broker, like any of them. I'll say the good things and the bad things about TradeNet. And I post links for them, but I'm still gonna be honest with people about it. Um, but they all do the same thing. Literally, all do the same thing. And so to target one and pretend like the one you're using doesn't do it is hypocritical at best. But hey, I mean, like I said, I'm passive. I'm not trying to start stuff with anybody. It's just you gotta if you've been trading long enough, you understand that all of these brokers do the same thing, all of them. U Stock Trade does it. They have super users, so they take the other side of your trade. At least with CFDs, that's what you're actually paying for. Like that's what CFDs are, is they taking the other side of your trade. And so it's like that's what CFDs are. At least they're honest with you about it. Like Sure Trader does it, and people may think that they don't, but that's why Sure Trader has so many shorts. It's not like they're just a nicer broker that just has more shorts available because they're just much nicer than the other ones. It's like, no, man, Sure Trader's taking the other side of your shorts. That's why they have so many shorts, is because they're going long when you go short. And they all essentially do it. And that's just kind of a necessary evil in the broker world, in the overseas broker world. That's just kind of what you're going to have to deal with if you want to actively day trade with less than 25K, you know? I mean, I wouldn't think so. Sure Trader, like for instance, if I buy 200 shares on TEFs on TradeNet, my commission is like $4. It's like $4 for a complete round trip on TEFs. If I buy 200 shares on Sure Trader, my commission will probably be like $13, $14. And so it's literally like 3 times what I'm paying, and that's the only reason I don't use SureTrader. Plus, the platform's hundreds a month, and it's just too expensive for me.
Just got hit 12,000 shares there. Let's see if it gets to 90s here. All right, guys, full size here, guys, full size now. 591, risking off 590, 595s. I have 1,000 shares here, guys.
Uh-oh. Taking some swings, huh?
Taking a swing here, guys. Know my risk. Gonna respect it. All I need is just crack down through the 90s, and we'll get our trade.
I like the triple top there. There you go. Yeah, well, no, it's what it is you can get for the intro account Red Sauce, you can get 2 intro accounts. They don't allow you to get more than 2 intro accounts. Um, the like if you lose 2 intro accounts, you have to move up. The reason I was able to have so many is because let's just say my family members have a lot of intro accounts, but that's their rule. $195 a trade, Callum? Really? Last time I traded there, it was $4.95 a trade plus ECN and routing fees, and the platform when I paid for it was like $150 a month. But like I said, I mean, it might have changed. You want to reach out to them and be sure. I really like the DOS platform in SureTrader. I think the DOS platform is legit. It's probably one of my favorite platforms, but it's expensive. I mean, yeah, and the platform, it all depends. If you're just getting level 1, I know it's cheaper, but if you're getting level 2, for me at least, it was like $150 a month. How much are you paying for the platform on there, though, Louis? What do we think of Ross and Warrior Trading? I mean, here's the thing. I've never taken their courses or anything like that. Um, I've never taken their courses or anything like that, and so I can't vouch for their courses or anything like that. I like the free info Warrior puts out, but as for their courses, I mean, I don't think I'm going to pay thousands of dollars for any course, and nothing against them. It's just, I think you can find most of that stuff for free online or for much cheaper, and so I like the free input or the free videos they all put out. Like, I'll watch all their videos, but as for their course, I can't say for sure. Yeah, 200 a month. See, that's the problem. DOS is expensive, man. I mean, I definitely think it's possible to learn on your own. Um, I know some of them have like a cult like following to where if you say that, they're going to say, no, no, I did so good with them and you should do it too. But I think you could probably find most of the stuff, all of them teach by yourself online for
Right,
free.
guys, starting to get my breakdown here, guys. Gonna look to take my first profit at that last support, which was 85s.
Yeah, it's definitely looking better for you. But like I said, pun, they have valuable content, man. You know what I mean? It's just about whether, like if you're thinking about starting to day trade with like 25K and you've got like a few extra thousand lying around. I'm not going to say it's going to be a bad purchase. I'm just saying that I wouldn't do it because first of all, I don't have just an extra 3 grand lying around to spend on day trading courses, and at this point, I'm profitable enough without that. But you know, it's all subjective, man. It all just depends. Same with all of this. Like every broker that I mentioned today, like UStockTrade, SureTrader, Tefs, TradeNet, they all have their benefits and they all have their pros and cons. It just depends on what you're looking for, like how you're going to trade, how much money you have, and stuff like that. And so I'm not ragging on any of them. I think most overseas brokers are all very similar to each other. SureTrader TEFs, even U Stock Trade, which is a U.S. regulated broker, they all do the same thing. And so it's just about taking advantage of the pros in one. And, if it works for your style of trading, great. I'd never use them, Dan. Never use them.
All right, let's see if we see some follow through here.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually what DOS runs, Dan. That's typically what DOS runs about. It runs about.
Look at IQ and Huya. Those are nice bebop fades.
Pun, it really, realistically, it took a few years, man. And I think that's going to be what it is for most people. I think generally it's going to take a few years to really be profitable. I think that I think that trading brings in people, right? And you see all these gurus talking about how much money they're making and showing people their trades with big size and saying, "Look how much money I made today."
Look at Huya and IQ go.
Let me pull these up.
Beautiful bebop fades. Beautiful.
Oh, look at Huya, man. That one does look pretty. IQ, IQ too, man. IQ is one of those channel fades. Um,
Yeah, man.
but yeah, like I was saying though, man. Like I think traders get into it and they get all these hopes and dreams, right? They're saying, "Man, I'm gonna be able to pay for everything I need now in life. I'm gonna be independent and pay for everything I need," and that's possible. But I think it really is gonna take time. It's not. It's like earning a degree in something. That's probably gonna take months at the least, years, most likely. And I think people see all these gurus and stuff, and they think that they're just going to be able to jump right in and then just start making all this money to support their family. And of course, there's outliers that do that. But for a large, large majority of people, it's going to take years. And it's just something that traders need to understand and not get the wrong impression about. But once you actually do it, it's going to be a trade, no pun intended, that you'll have for the rest of your life. It's just about whether you can put in that time because it's going to take time. I mean, wake up call. I don't want to tell you what to do and what not to do. I don't know if I'd quit trading. I'd quit my job to pursue trading if I was brand new. I would probably trade when I had free time until I started to get the grasp of it and then kind of, uh, you know, run it that way. But hey, man, I'm not, do whatever you think you need to do. Just realize it's going to take a while. If you have years of money to hold off on getting a job and you have years of money saved up and you have time to devote to it, more power to you, brother. But you don't want there to be too much pressure, is what I mean. Like if there's too much pressure, your emotions aren't going to be in the right place. I always say don't trade with anything that you're not willing to lose because a lot of times you will lose it.
All right.
You
Hopefully
should
we
get a
can
breakdown here.
right now. Yeah, a
Right.
little one at least.
You should get a breakdown here.
Not getting the momentum to follow it.
Yeah, built some resistance there at 91 though, and so let's see if we get
See
that
if we
follow
can get
through
it
push
down.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Just need a little bit of follow through so I can take a little bit of profit, take the pressure off this trade.
If I want to get my feet wet with a platform, should I start with 500 bucks? It all depends, man. Are you trying to actively day trade with $500? It all just depends, man. You know, I wouldn't put 500 into SureTrader. It would either be Tefs or TradeNet or Stock Trade with 500. At least for me, this is all just my opinion. Not an investment professional, not liable for any losses you take. Got to make your own assessment of the market, trade responsibly. Always want to say that for liability reasons, but with SureTrader, you're gonna have a hard time making that work with platform fees and stuff like that. Tefs, TradeNet, intro package is 500. You'll get about 700 to spend. Won't be able to trade cheaper stocks. Some stocks won't be tradable, but that's an option. Stock trade if you only like going long, and you don't mind not having any leverage. There's stock trade. I traded with them for a long time. Once
And
I
there goes IQ. Boom.
You should get a breakdown here. I'm looking at VIPS's chart. Yeah, it's kind of what I was saying earlier, Dan. Like all the overseas brokers, you could consider shady. SureTrader, you can consider it shady. Stock Trade, even you can consider it traded as shady. Any broker that allows you to trade with less than 25K is probably a little shady. You know. And like I said, I'm not one of those guys that mindlessly defends any broker. I can acknowledge the truth in all of them. The only thing I care about with any of them is that if they pay out. If they pay out, they pay out. That's the only thing I really care about.
All right, getting a little moved here, guys.
BJ, man, yeah, don't be afraid to take that profit, like right here. I wouldn't be worried about it. There you go.
Yeah.
You can take 500 off, just because it's got that support at 85. It's looking good for you though.
No, I take it at 85. That's where I wanted to take it.
You got
So I
it.
took 300 off there at
Okay.
85. That takes the pressure off, guys. I have $46 on this stock. I'm sitting here in the green. I'm gonna let this trade work here, guys. I'm gonna hold the rest. Break even. I got 591 fives. I'm gonna hold it to 592s. Let this trade work. Let it try to break down here and really pay us out here. I have 700 shares left, guys. Time to play with some house money, guys.
Is there any way around the 2 TradeNet account rule? I mean, I don't know, man. Reach out to them and ask them. Like I said, my family has a lot of intro accounts. But reach out to them and ask them. You know what I mean?
All right, guys, got to hold tight to my 592 mark. There you go. That's what I wanted to see right there. Great rejection. 97,000 shares going through there at 586 there, guys.
It should test this low, I would think.
9,700 shares there, guys. I'm going to give it that tight stop now, guys. I'm going to let this break down here.
Yeah, that's probably the cheapest way to use SureTrader Moto is their desktop platform.
All right, next stop, 81s. I'll take another 300 at 81. Here comes some volume. It's taking out the bids. Let it take it out. They bounced up there. Some size got bought up on the ass there.
No, no, he was covering some pun. Um, he was covering some. So like he's short, so he clicks buy to cover and short to enter the position.
Hey, hey. Sorry about that, guys.
Hey,
These animals, literally. All right, guys, got to be careful because there was that big sizing there, guys. Do see on a 5 minute that this could have a down one, up one, down two, up two, come back to VWAP, and then really crack. If I held to that high, it would be 596. I'd have to risk 4 cents with this. So essentially, I have to make the decision. This is when you get to that point where you have to make a decision. Are you going to stick into this trade, stick to your bones, stick to your risk? Or are you going to hold the rest of it, break even, and just let the stock either break down right here or let the trade go? For me, it's going to be break even on the rest. I don't mind it coming back up to my break even point. If I did risk, it would be 3 cents of risk. And the lovely lawn pit
I was
people.
gonna ask what that was, man.
And the lovely lawn people. Yeah, I might have to mute myself a little bit here. If they come swinging on by again. Ooh, MBEV made a nice view up.
I know somebody was talking about that one earlier. NBEV. I want to pull it up to look
It
at it.
wasn't a bad one. It went straight up to the VWAP, straight back down.
Yeah, who mentioned? I think Outsiders. Was it Outsiders that mentioned NBEV?
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself for a second.
Yeah, NBEV was a pretty fade for sure. Right, Salty. That's what I was. I wasn't trying to tell him to take the job. I was just saying you might want to. I wouldn't give up a job to focus solely on trading unless you're completely set. If not, there's going to be too much pressure. But it's all subjective. All right, let's see if we get a wash down from Mitch here. He's already banked some profits, and he's still below his original entry, so he's still all right.
All right, guys. I feel like we're gonna have a nice little VWAP test here. It's gonna come up to VWAP again and then fade. The 5 minute chart speaks more on this. On a 5 minute chart, you see that VWAP right up there. You can do that third resistance, then crash down there. A lot of volume got collected up there at 585s with that huge share size going through there at 586, 97,000 shares.
There you go.
Looking good. Let's see if we can get some follow through momentum.
Yep, yep.
If it pushes through those 85s, we should get to the 81 mark.
What's up, WS? Mitch is in VIPS going short. I'm probably done for the day. I'm up as well trading. What did I trade? CGC. Shorting some cannabis stocks today. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of them, Pun. I mean, DOS has one. TradeNet has one. Warrior Trading has one. I used to do it old school. Options Express. No, Options House.
I feel like we had the same conversation 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Deja vu.
But no, Options House. When I first started trading, I used Options House. Options House had a free, live, real-time paper trading software, and so I would just trade with them. But they stopped doing it. I think it was against the rules. Yeah, Ruben. I mean, it all depends, man. We talked about it a little bit earlier. It all depends on what you're looking for, Ruben. Like I use Tefs and TradeNet, but there's some, stuff you want to understand about them. Sure, Trader's expensive. There's U Stock Trade if you only like going long, and there is CME Group, although I've never used them. Yeah,
Yeah, I've been thinking about CME Group, but I haven't found anyone really to talk to about it.
yeah, Webull you could paper trade on there for free. I just haven't been able to figure out how. To be honest, I've seen you can on Webull. I just haven't been able to figure out how. All right, let's see if we get that breakdown for you here, brother. Let's get that break under 580s, man. Still looking good though for you.
Another 100,000 shares going through there, guys. I want this to just flush through right here, guys.
It
If
should.
not, I'm gonna have to cover a little bit just to at least pay myself out and then hold the rest break even. Because we're at the support right now, guys. We should break it down here.
Right. I want to see at least get down to 580 here. Is what I'm looking at.
With 100,000 shares going through, we should get some momentum.
Somewhere. Yeah, I don't think I can trade on Trade Zero. I think it's not for U.S. customers.
Yeah, it's not. If not, I would use them. They're pretty good. I've seen other users use them.
There's 85s. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go to TradeNet, make sure you research it. You can ask me questions about it. There's the link. It'll get you 10% off if you go to TradeNet. But like I said, maybe my opinion's biased on TradeNet, and so do your research. You could probably see my biggest flaw with TradeNet is that a lot of these cheaper stocks you can't trade. That's the biggest pet peeve I have with them. Um, Sure Trader, I like their platform. I like the DOS platform a lot. It's just a little expensive for U.S. customers at least. U Stock Trade, I like them for going long. I just transitioned to more of a short bias trader.
All right, just gonna pay myself there a little bit, guys, so that I can hold the rest with no emotion. All right, taking profits at support, letting it crack down here, and looking for the breakdown now. I have realized $59. No matter what, I'm gonna end up green for the day. I have right now in the unrealized 37.50. Look at this breakdown. Let's go. Still have 500 shares.
Looking good. Let's get that break under 80, like I said, man. Beautiful second fade there for you. Ruben, U Stock
All right.
Trade.
Took 200 there, guys, at the low of day support, guys. 200 at the low of day support. Now holding the rest. Break even. Let's let this breakdown happen. Let's measure the flag here. 30-cent breakdown. I'm going to be looking for 570s, 550s. Let's look back. Where's our support, guys? How do we find it? I usually like using higher time frames to find it. 575 is the next stop.
Yeah, I think with what you're saying, I think U stock trade is probably a good option for you, Ruben. It's just the bigger size you take on U stock trade, the worse fills you're going to get, and they restrict some stocks as well. But if you're looking to get in with a really small account, only going long with cheap commissions, U stock trade seems like it's a good fit for you. But hey, do your research, man. I've used all of these brokers except for CME Group, and so I have experience with all of them. I have reviews on all of them on the channel as well, and so it just depends on what you're looking for specifically.
All right, guys.
Momentum, it's tough, man. Momentum. The fills aren't great on U stock trade, but commissions are $1. But they don't. It's only long traders. You can't go short on U stock trade, but they're not bad, man. I have a lot of live trade videos of me trading on U stock trade, and so if you go check out my channel, you can look at some live trades from U stock, and they're not bad. I mean, like I said, I'm not one of those people that mindlessly defend any broker. I'll tell you the truth behind all of it, but U stock trade doesn't seem like a bad option for you. Hey man, I hope they do, Al. I hope they do. I'd test them out, make some videos on them if they let me trade with them.
All right. So right now, guys, we have 300 shares there at 591. Trying to let these break down and give us that maximum potential gain. We're sitting in here about 10 cents up, a little bit over 10 cents. Just relaxing, waiting for this to see if the 206 right there on the level twos is going to get filled. Right there, it gets filled, guys. 23,900 shares getting filled, knocking it down. Let's go. Let's get through these 580s.
Looking good, brother.
Good thing is we got this daily chart coming down to 550s. Looks like it can just bring it down all the way from the top of this, coming down to the support here, guys.
Looking good for you.
Yep. Next stop would be 575s, and then I'll look to take some profit near 570s.
I'm jealous, brother. This is a big game, man. Nice work.
Yeah, I mean, it was all about not having fear and taking the trade, no fear, understanding my levels, understanding my risk was really tight. I got full size in this and was able to really, take the swing.
Long means you're profiting when the stock goes up, pun. Short means you're profiting when the stock goes down. Like if you look at Mitch here, Mitch is shorting the stock. So the more it moves down, the more money he makes. And so it's kind of opposites. Long, $121 gain. Nice work, brother. You got 300 shares left?
Yep, 300 shares left. Letting it work, guys.
For sure. $121 so far, Dex.
Now what we want to see is we want to see that 580 become resistance. If that can become resistance, then we can really get this downward pressure through the 75s to the 70s. I'll take some more off there at 70 and look for the last little bit down all the way on the daily support of 550.
Yeah, day trading, Dan, it's all about like there's going to be little nuances in the market that consistently happen, and they're positive probability wise. Like the VWAP fade, it's just a little nuance that happens a lot in the market, and so I back test the strategies I use. So like when I back tested it, it had a 73% accuracy rate. In the last month, the VWAP bounce had about a 75% accuracy rate. And so I back tested over, I try to do it over a year, but sometimes I don't get that far. But it's just about taking advantage of the little nuances and giving yourself positive probabilities in those trades. And that's essentially what day trading is. It's never going to work 100% of the time, but if it works more than it doesn't, and it organically gives you good risk and reward in that trade, then you can make money from it. And like that's kind of what we do here. Yeah, fundamental. I mean, I'm never a fundamental trader, Dan.
200,000 shares just sliding through there.
We should get a wash here, especially if 580 holds as resistance. That's the big level I'm watching, like that 580 level. See if that holds, and it gets rejected there.
Big volume there going through there. There's definitely a big time trader in here if they're willing to put one order through at 200,000 shares. Think about how much value is in that one position.
Wait, how much are you up on the day, Mitch?
Up one, well, unrealized or realized?
Unrealized, I guess.
Unrealized together, adding up with my realized is 121.
Okay.
I have realized already 80 dollars and 50 cents. Unrealized right now is sitting at 40.50. But this is why I have it on another screen, guys. I started to learn to take it away from my screen and only have this position management that I have down here, where it only tells me my share size and my average cost. Those are really the only two things that I need to know to trade this stock. I don't need to know my realized. I don't need to know my unrealized. I'm going to take profits at points that I would take profits regardless of size. And that's what really makes me different here, guys. And that's what gave me the ability to size up. I saw in the chat Dan talking about after a year of trading, he thinks day trading is really about technical and price action. I don't think you're wrong there. I do think that you're missing one of the key aspects, and it's one of the key aspects that I missed for so many years.
Risk and reward.
I definitely understood that there was price action and that there was technical aspects to day trading. But what I didn't understand and actually completely understand was the concept of risk management
Right.
and risk reward. And that's essentially what we teach in our class. What really differentiates us from other trading educators out there is that what we're teaching is we've learned that our competitive advantage is going to be teaching you guys risk management. Once you have the ability to really control your risk, you're going to have an ability to find the edge that works for you. A lot of trading is finding what strategy works best for you, for your personality, and not always is every strategy going to work for you.
Right.
That's why we don't try to force down three patterns down your throat. We essentially want you to be able to trade any pattern, any strategy, and anything in day trading.
Right.
Now, the real key to us is that where we're separating you from is having you an ability to change from a gambler to becoming the true trader, a true beginner. And that's what we do here at Beginning Trading.
Right, for sure. If you think about it like this, right? Like in each trade Mitch and I get into, we give ourselves a plan, right? The plan revolves around one, where we're setting our risk, two, where we're setting our reward targets, and the ratio of those two risk and reward targets. So, like if you're risking, just as an example, 10 cents on a trade, basing off of the chart, not how much you're afraid to lose. If you base your risk off of the chart, you try to give yourself more reward than your risk, right? So if you give yourself 2 to 1 on each trade you get into, if your risk is 10 cents and your reward is 20 cents, even if you're only profitable half the time, even if your accuracy rate is at 50%, you're still going to be green in the long run. And that's where a lot of other people, they don't really teach about that. And it kind of blows my mind that people, like, if you think about that, if you have an accurate strategy, that's how you need to approach it. It gives you organization in that trade. It lets you see what you need to do. It helps you stay calmer in the trade, and it kind of curbs the chaos that a lot of traders go through, which is just kind of random gambling. Oh, that stock looks pretty, I'm just going to jump in. Before you actually look, where's the risk level? Where's your reward level? Is your reward bigger than your risk? And if so, then you can attack the trade, but you got to set those levels. And that's the big thing about it, is just testing it to see if it's actually going to follow through with what your risk and reward levels are. And like we always say, like, we're not experts or gurus or anything like that. We definitely make some mistakes in trading too, as does everybody, but we're probably the only people that claim that we're not experts or gurus. Everybody else, they're not actually trading live, showing you all of their trades. And
One of my key things is that it's not necessarily that I'm teaching you one big secret, is that we're really unfolding the dark truths of trading and unfolding what you should be doing versus as if you just want to focus on the greed side, or if I want to push down financial freedom, or just what any other scam really does is kind of tell you that you're going to get rich real quick And that's not what we're doing.
No
I
way.
never ever want to tell people that, even if I get rich at this, by doing this, I've been making certain profitability now. But even if I get rich and I get the cars that I always wanted or the house that I always wanted, I'm never really going to sell you that that's the factor that's going to get you there. At
Right.
the end of the day, it's going to take hard work. It's going to take following a process. And that's what we're trying to get you to, is understanding that what we are is we've developed an actual process of trading versus just staying here in the market and just kind of getting torn. We always talk about the famous quote, bulls will be bulls, bears will be bears, and the ones that really get killed are the pigs, because the pigs, they get slaughtered.
Right, for
At the
sure.
end of the day, if you don't have a plan, the correct trading complete plan, then you're not going to be able to determine your risk. You're not going to be able to stay in the process and continue on as a consistent trader. If you are interested in any of our classes, we can offer you the first kind of 3 classes, kind of
Right.
a demo we did. We had a free 3 days and we left those recorded. We're more than willing to send you those videos so you can see essentially what we do every single night and how we can help you become a better trader.
Right. I just posted the link. I uploaded one to YouTube this weekend. It's on risk and reward and strategies, risk and reward and related to the strategies we use. And so I just posted that link. It's about 45 minutes long, but it's just kind of what we do. I still got to upload the rest. But
Like one of the key things we talked about this weekend was I've been having a little bit of a rough 2 weeks after having an amazing month of October. Um, what I really realized is I got to get back to my strengths, and that's what I really focused on today was getting back to trading our strengths, getting back to taking nice risk to reward, finding our pattern, and executed 2 trades today on VIPS. Was able to make a green day come back. And how did it come through, guys? It didn't come through because I got lucky on VIPS. It came through because I stuck to my system. I understood that I have an edge and that I can take advantage of the market as long as I stay to my system.
right, for sure. I mean, trading comes in waves, man. Like you can see, like my November month, like this is my stats from November. Like my month of November was pretty good. You can look at details here. I've had 6 trades in the last 6 trading days, and 5 of them were profitable. One was losing. So in the last week or so, I've had about an 83.3% accuracy rate. Average hold time for a winning trade is 11 minutes. Hold time for a losing trade is 5 minutes. But even if you look at like my November graph, it's still a green graph. My biggest problem is I use too small of sizing.
Here we go, guys. Next move down coming.
If I was to use bigger sizing, it would definitely reflect more. But this is my November graph. I needed to avoid this big drawdown here on the 19th, but it's still a green profitable graph for November. I'll definitely take it. My trading's been doing pretty well in the last month or so, and so it's just about keeping that momentum going. But
Looking for that big share size to come behind this to really knock it down, guys. So big shares popping up at 76 is what I want to see.
yeah, Leslie says you have a lot of videos. Yeah, I stream every single day. That's kind of what separates us from everybody else is that, everybody else, they might post green days, like, look how much money I made. And then they start live streaming and they take a bunch of losses. And then they stop live streaming and they post a bunch of green days again. It happens all the time. And they're obviously cherry picking their winning trades and just uploading them. And so the difference is that I actually trade live every single day. You'll see all my trades. I can't hide anything. I can't cherry pick because you guys see all my trades regardless. And so,
All right, guys. Small shares coming through there at 76. What do I always say? Look for the big one. It's not the little one that knocks it down. It's the big boy. Right there, that sizing you see on the level 2, we need that bid to just get hit hard. If it gets hit hard, those 1921s just get smacked. That's what brings it down. Good traders will actually put an extra short on top of it, probably at like 78, 80s, and they're putting pressure on the downside. So if they do get filled, they're fine with it because their average is still above that 580 mark that they can hold to. But they knock it down right there. There you go, 575s. The big share size went through there. 1,100, 1,400 shares at 76.
NBEV guys is pulling back to the VWAP. I don't know if I really trust this one. It put in a little bit of a higher low. But NBEV is moving back to that $5 VWAP area. It's at 494 now, getting a big volume spike. So we'll see what happens here. But I don't know if I trust it necessarily. Had one good fade, but we'll see what it does this time. Yeah, I trade different than Connor. I've seen Connor trade. He trades higher priced stocks a little bit differently than I do. Everybody trades differently. But yeah, NBV's up to the VWAP. It's getting a lot of volume. It looks pretty strong here, actually. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Listen, my mentality with everybody is that I don't trust anybody that doesn't show people all their trades. I don't trust people that don't show their account balance and that don't show their trades. A lot of people claim to be profitable. A lot of people can upload videos of the, you know what I
One of the
mean?
key things is people don't forget there is such thing as chat room pumps.
Right. Oh,
Um,
100%. I'm
and,
not
and
saying
it
he
does
does it.
exist.
Right.
You know, one of the key things is I don't down Ross at all in any of what he does, but I will tell you guys this: look at his trades, see when he sells, and the stock immediately turns around.
Right.
Why does that happen, guys? Just start thinking about that and the psychology of that, and you understand why. Trading with Ross is excellent, especially if you can get close to him.
Right. He's got good value too. Like the stuff he teaches is real stuff.
Yeah,
Like
but majority of the times you're not going to be able to get close to him.
Right.
Either that, or it's going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Right. And I don't even think it's his fault. I think he just has so many followers that that's just kind of how it goes once you get that big of a
Too,
following.
too many people want to give him money to learn how to trade.
Right. And so I think you get a big following like that, it's going to, especially if you're trading low float stocks, it's going to move those stocks. And that's just how it goes. Like I said, it's not even his fault. And like I said, I think there's value in the stuff he puts out. I'm not one of those guys that hates on any of my competitors. If he's even a competitor of mine, but uh, his content's valuable, man. I'm not gonna hate on it. He's got some good content, good strategies.
I mean, we all have to start somewhere, and a lot of where I started was from Warrior Trading and all the gurus out there.
right. They all
You
have
gotta
good
take,
value, man.
yeah, you got to take their actual, what I call the true knowledge. There's always true knowledge out there. Try to find true knowledge in everyone, and find where they're kind of fluffing it up,
Right.
and from there you can go ahead and take kind of a different approach.
Right. Like I
I
think.
want this 580 to hold here, guys. Let's let this 580 hold. If it does get to 581, I'm going to take 100 shares off, and then I'll let the rest of it break even. The reason is that it'll just pay us $10. It'll be kind of the commissions for the whole trade. And that way I really will be realized at $80.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I like that plan. But no, Ross is more Ross scalps a lot. Like Ross is like a high volume scalper to where he takes big sizing, takes really short moves, and gets out quick. And that's fine. I mean, that's a profitable way to trade. It's a little bit tougher for new traders to emulate that, but it's a profitable way to trade.
Yeah, we got a beautiful rejection there, guys. Lots of volume coming in through the level twos and the time sales. 4,000, 6,000 shares there, getting shorted at 78, 77. Let's see if it follows through. Gets through that 75. If it gets through that 75, our next profit point is going to be 571. 571 will give us a little bit more. We'll be at a kind of $20 gain there, or we'll be sitting at over $100. And I still will have 200 shares to let this stock try to get down to that 550.
For sure. I like that plan.
Remember, guys, above 80, I wanted to pay myself 100 more just to pay myself the commissions on the trade. And then I 100% will be willing to leave it all the way up there to that 591, which is essentially above VWAP now. That's why we always try to set ourselves up the right way. Setting ourselves up the right way is how you create consistency. It's not just being lucky on one end of the stick. It's setting yourself up, becoming a process trader, systematic in a way.
Yeah, Vips. The big reason you got to watch Vips here, man, is I think that you're right around the previous day's close. Like if you look over, like you're right around the previous day's close.
I'm looking at the daily as a whole, and the daily as a whole has a lot of resistance up there at 6, and the support in this stock is down to 550s. And so I'm looking for a move down to the support,
Oof.
essentially a full range from the 6 down to the 6 to the 550.
Look at ACB's fade here.
Uh oh.
Hey,
Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun.
ESPN going off on my phone, man.
I made a top play, guys.
But yeah, look at ACB, man. ACB's fading right now. Too
Uh,
late for it, but
Dan, is this account over 25K? Hey man, I really wish I could tell you that it was, but it's not, brother. Someday soon. I'm in the process of saving up on the side and really trying to get that $25,000 account, because in the end, that's all I dream as day traders, especially those that don't have kind of the extreme capital to have that day trading American account. And that's what I'm really working towards, is getting that account. I kind of day trade with a little money now, just to kind of get that consistency, really start taking some profits, and at the same time saving for that 25K account, so that when I have the skills to match the account will be there, and I will take the swings. Got
right,
no
for sure.
problem taking swings, guys.
Yeah, man, that's my flaw. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Hey, it's a flaw, and it could be a benefit. One of the key things is I really don't shy away from taking trades. I've learned in my life, you're gonna lose enough in life. Might as well start figuring out how to win. Hey, it happens, Dan. Just realize that you blowing up a small account it's not about realizing that you blew up an account. It's about realizing that I need to create a real structure to my trading so that I can be consistent. I'm sure you had a structure before you started trading that live account. And then as that live account started going down, you started trading outside of your structure, and the pressure starts getting to you because it's what we call all or nothing. All or nothing trading creates way too much pressure emotionally, psychologically, and you can't hold to your levels. It's the key thing about small accounts that a lot of gurus don't like to teach, is that usually if you take one big hit, you're not going to have the psychological kind of strength to get back up and keep trading that same strategy that just caused you to take your first hit. All right, saw a lot of shares go through there at 75, so we got to let it try to break through that 75. There's no point in rushing to profits here, guys. The only time we should take profits if it should get above that 580, because it's held it at resistance 3 times there, guys. We got to bounce down 1, down 2, up 2, down 3, up 3, and that last one, that 580. And now we don't want to even pass that 579, 5 above 580, and it'll come back to this VWAP. We want it to break down. We want the volume that came in back at 1056 to follow again and knock this stock down all the way down. Whoever's still sticking around this time at 11:16, these are the people that really want to trade. Hanging around and seeing this just shows you that if you really want to go ahead and make this happen, start realizing that it's going to take, to get a little bit of education. Now, I don't think you need to, put an arm and a leg out so that you can never get that $25,000 account. But I do believe that, you should learn how to really take advantage, find the right resources so that you can learn and be consistent.
For sure. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just a process.
All right, guys, looking to take 100 off here, guys, at 71. I see the next stop 70s. Can't put the limit order out there. Waited a little bit too long. Now it's 3 cents down, so I'd have to do 70. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use more of that market approach.
I appreciate it, S Desire. Yeah, I mean that's what we try to do here. Like, you see there's a lot of stuff about trading on YouTube and then in the trading world in general. You want to follow somebody, and I'm not even saying us, but like, there's three things you should always look for. You should look for them to show you their actual trades live, if possible. If they don't show you your trades live, at least let them show you your account balance. If they don't show you your account balance and they don't show you all their trades live,
All those shares coming through on the time and sales here, guys.
but nice drop,
Yeah,
man.
guys, paid myself a little bit there, guys. It would have been 71 if I had the order out there, guys. That's why you need to have the order out there as the level approaches. Test gives us a little bit of disadvantage, but I always talk about kind of stick with the strengths of your broker and don't focus on the weakness. The weakness here is that I can't limit out there at that 71. The strength is I can mark it out and get that 73, take my profit, move on, and kind of hold the rest of this for that next level move now. Why did we stick around, guys? Why did we stick around and hold this level, guys? We were able to capture essentially another 10 cents of profit. Now we're sitting, guys, realized 99, guys. 99 for the day, hanging out, willing to talk to you guys through the live trade. Realize that essentially, guys, once you get to this part of trading, you don't have to pressure yourself. This is when the pressure should be off. This is when you should be able to just relax and just execute your trade.
Yeah, for sure, man. You've written this one down nicely. You should be pretty comfortable. It might be an all-day fade too, down to that 560s at least. But yeah, like I said,
571s.
But like I said, you want people to either live stream their trades like we do, show their account balance, or review their profit and loss. If they don't do any of that, they're hiding their losses. Like 100%. If they don't do any of that, they're hiding it.
I mean, at the end of the day, part of it is just realizing, what you're really trying to do, guys, is that if you're trying to find a mentor, then you should be able to see everything that they do.
Right.
You need to be able to get as close to them as possible so that you can really start kind of taking advantage of trading.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything good or bad about anybody, Leslie. Like I said, what I just said kind of explains it, right? Like, if you're going to follow somebody that claims to be a profitable trader, they at least need to either A, live stream their trades, B, show you their account balance every day, or C, review their profit and loss logs on their account. Not just tell you what their profit and loss was, show you their profit and loss. Like I said, if they don't do any of that, then they are 100% not showing you their losses. I don't care what they say.
Next profit point is going to be 68s through the 60s. We'll look to take another 100 shares, guys. Next support level. Let's see it go through here. Lots of share size, guys. Do you see the share size is going through in the time and sales? I know I cut the window out a little bit because it has like this kind of hole in the bottom. It looks a lot cleaner like this. But if you guys should be seeing your time and sales on VIPS and be seeing those huge sell orders going through there, 10,000 shares at 76, 10,000 shares at 73. That's what you want to see. Those are confirmations.
Yeah, like this says, though, you'll see traders that they'll post winning day after winning day after winning day, and then they'll start live streaming, take a loss after loss after loss, and then they'll stop live streaming, and then coincidentally they'll go back to posting only green days. That's another red flag. Red flag should pop up. I like that drop, though. We'll see if it holds support at that EMA.
Look at Huya. Look at that chart. That's what I call a fade.
Yeah, I was looking at ACB here, but Vips is breaking down beautifully for you, man. Just a really nice all day fade.
Who he is? I gotta lie. I gotta say, I mean, that chart is sexy.
That fade, that first fade from Huya was beautiful, man.
Yep. All right, guys. So we're getting a little bounce here, guys. Remember that 580 level is what we're holding to, that resistance level. If it comes up here and holds 75, that's what we exactly want to see. We want to see a rejection of 75, hold that new support, that prior support as resistance, show that there's a shorter still in this, but there's still momentum to come down and bring it to that 550 area. Regardless of this trade, we're going to end up this trade positive and kind of hang out.
Yeah, why do you say that, Callum? I'm not saying anybody, man. I didn't say any names. I'm just saying, like, this is what new traders have to deal with. Like, right? Like, I'm not even saying him. I don't even know if he does that or not. I'm just saying that this is all super common in trading. You know? Like, if it's just one of those things, right? That traders should understand that they're gonna have to kind of weed out is the people that are really doing what they say they're doing and the people that don't, you know? And I'm not saying anything bad about anybody, man, you know? Like, I don't ever mention names. I don't say anything bad about anybody. I'm not trying to drag anybody down or start drama. I'm just telling people how it is, and that's the truth.
Yep. Like I always talk about, guys, the dark truths of trading. Look them up. Find out what it is. We're not trying to hide them from you.
Right, man. I mean, I never said anybody's name. Like, listen, all I'm saying is that if you post loss after loss, right? Or if you post green day after green day, then you should be able to show people your account balance. You should be able to show people your profit and loss. You know what I mean? At least if you claim to have a 90% accuracy rate or whatever, you know, 95% accuracy rate, which a lot of people do. I'm not saying any names, but a lot of people do that. Then you should be able to show people that stuff. And if you're not showing people that stuff, the truth is, man, is that you're hiding stuff. And I'm not even talking about him. I'm talking about everybody that does it. I don't know if he does it or not. But like I said, if you get insecure about what I'm saying, then it might be you. You know what I mean? But I don't know who it is. I'm just saying, you know, if I don't mention names and somebody comes up, you know, I'm not saying anything good or bad about anybody. I'm just saying the red flags people should look out for.
Yep.
It was just an example. Profitable Trading Club. I mean, there's people that only post green days, right? There'll be people that post 2 losing days in a month, you know? And if they're trading every day, like, that's right up there with like 95%.
Usually the people making $60,000 gains.
Right. You know what I mean? And then there'll be people that are honest about it. Like I said, it's just one of those things, right? People get wrapped up in trading. People follow people, and it's hard for them to look at it for what it is, you know? And, like, listen, man, if it's just entertainment, then whatever, man. Let them do what they're going to do, you know? I think it feels good to watch somebody pretend to be profitable. You know, even when you kind of know in your mind, like, maybe they're not.
It's not even about profitability. It's that financial freedom thing. It's that, oh, this guy's a rap star now.
Right. I'm going to go get a Lambo. What? It's like, no, I drive a Toyota. You know?
Yeah. Take that Prius around.
Right.
It's the truth, you know?
Right.
We don't need to hide from anything.
Right. Yeah, Dex, like I said, man, I'm not saying any names about anybody. I'm not one of those drama traders. I don't like to start drama, man. I'm not trying to start drama with anybody.
The idea that you guys can just name stuff consistently just kind of should give you a heads up. It's not one.
Yeah, it's not just one. That's what I'm saying. That's why somebody said,
really
hey,
key.
you don't.
It's not just one.
Right, Callum said you don't like so-and-so, and it's like, I'm not talking about anybody in particular because there's so many people that do it. There's so many people that do it. That's why, like, I tried to make the channel different. Like, win or lose, regardless if I win or lose in this, right? At least you guys will see all of it. At least you know I'm not hiding stuff. At least you know I'm not sitting there like pretending to be something I'm not. Like if I win, I win. Great. If I lose, that's fine too. But at least I'm not hiding it. At least I'm showing people everything, you know.
Hey, welcome, WS. Appreciate the sub. Welcome to the family.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother.
All right, guys. Now that we've created that real solid resistance there at 75, that's where that 100 resistance is right now. Kind of letting this trade just work itself down. If it wants to continue, I'll definitely take my profits at support. If it wants to turn around, I'll take 100 off, leave 100, and probably set a stop. Let myself walk away and enjoy my day. I don't really hold trades usually this long, so sometimes I get days like this, but the fun part is I got to go back to work, guys.
You got to work today?
Yeah, got to work.
Appreciate the sub, Ruben. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it, man. Hey, at least we're doing it together, Dex. You know.
Like a fam.
Right. Honestly, though, I've been proud of my trading, dude.
I need support, man.
Right. I've been proud of my trading, dude. My trading, 83% accuracy rate in like 6 days. That's pretty good, man. I'll take it. I've had 6 green trades, 1 red trade, and over a week. You know, my November has been a profitable November as well. My graph is pretty, man. So I've been happy with my trading for sure. It's just
ready. I'm ready, and getting December started off with a bang. Let's do this. December has notably been the day, kind of the month to make money. Either that or January, at least in my experience. And this is the time when you need to try to get to your kind of top game in the zone we talk about every single night. And that's really what we got to get to. Once you're in the zone, once you know what you're doing and you're feeling good, seeing the market open in that neutral state of mind, you can really start taking swings. That's when you want to start taking swings, sizing up and taking your battles.
Yeah, we don't use Thinkorswim for trades, Jose, but when I use Thinkorswim, my commissions were like $14. It was like mine were like $5.95 a trade, but this was about a year ago, so I guess it all just depends.
All right, guys. If it gets to 77 on the ask here, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take 100 off, and I'll leave the rest break even and let it keep going. If it rejects, that just gives us more strength to come down through the 570s.
Sometimes December's bullish, Ismail. It all just depends on what stocks.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. What I look for is momentum. It doesn't mean that it's bullish or not. With the bullish stocks are always going to be coming the stock that kind of the sympathy play that gapped up that just fails. And so there's always going to be failing stocks, regardless if the market's kind of leaning towards a bull side or a bear side. What you need to do is you need to understand what a bear and a bull stock is. And that's really what matters here.
Definitely.
All right, let's see. This gets back to 77s here. So John, where are we coming up to? Are we we're getting near that 50 class mark?
Yeah, man. We'll be there. I think we have about 40 now, 40 something backlogs of classes. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's getting up there real quick.
Right. Like that's why I always said, no matter what happens with it, like we're building a nice backlog of classes, and so that's why like people always say it's like people can hate on us. They can say we shouldn't be offering classes, like whatever they want to say. That's fine. But truth is, it's $30 a month, and you get 20 live classes, and then our backlog, which is like 40 plus. You literally get like 400 hours of classes. You know.
Yeah, and for the money, it's essentially gone down to what, $2 a class.
Right, less than that. But it's like days of classes, and so it's like people can hate. Like we're not experts, we're not gurus, but it's just kind of.
There's information there.
I never traded on them, Dean. Never traded on Interactive Brokers, brother. Heard really good things about them though. Heard really good things about them. It's just Interactive Brokers, I believe, is the one where even if you want to trade, like even if you don't have 25K, you have to at least deposit 10,000, I believe, in order to trade.
Minimum deposit
Right.
for their margin accounts. And from what I heard, IB used to have a lot of easy shorts, and they've changed a lot over the years. At least from what I heard, they're not so great at shorts anymore. But hey, maybe you could let us know, Dean.
Right, for sure. Oh, it's 2K now? Okay, yeah. The last time I looked it up, I thought it was like 10K. If it's 2K, that's not too bad. But
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I've heard good things about him.
Yeah. I mean, they have good execution. They use DOS, I'm pretty sure. They use DOS and Sterling Pro, I believe.
Hmm.
So DOS is always a great platform.
Right.
It's definitely one of the ones that I found over time to have the best execution. All right, guys. If it goes up here to 77 and that's 78, we'll probably just take 100 shares left, and we'll keep 100 shares and let this trade either work back to that 89 VWAP, and we could hold break even, or we're going to just take the trade off here. So I'm willing to take that 100 and come back up to VWAP.
I'm doing the TradeNet demo challenge. How much are commissions for TradeNet? They're going to be different. It's subjective on the share size you use. With like they have $1.50 per trade minimum. Realistically, if I use like 1 or 200 shares, my commission is about $4, maybe $4.25, $4.50 a round trip. As you go up, it's down as 0.006 cents per share, but I think like 1,000 shares is like $12 for a round trip, and the higher you go, the more commissions are. But if you're trading with less than 500 shares, they're pretty cheap. They're like I said, with me, it's like 1 to 200 shares is about $4 per complete round trip, and so it's pretty cheap. Do we have any discounts on classes at any point?
I mean,
Not. I mean, we have before. I don't know when the next one's gonna be. We've been kind of trying to find the right price for them because
yeah,
we
I
want to
think
make them cheap. But
yeah, I mean, we used to have it at a little bit higher up than what it is now. I think it's essentially at a discount right now. Um,
I think it's $24 maybe, Satoshi. I don't know. Like here, I can get the calculator out. Let me see. Just go by. So if you're using 2,000 shares, oh, 12. $12 per trade. And so yeah, 24 for a round trip if you're using 2,000. 1,000 would be $12 for a round trip. 500 would be $3 for a round trip, but I think it's actually 0.0075. So 500 would be 375. So it's still pretty cheap. 750 round trip is pretty cheap with 500 shares, so it's not bad. Yeah, I mean it's the more shares you use, the more your commissions are going to be. And so that's why I said like each broker has their pros and cons, right? TradeNet and Tefs is really good for like small sizing, right? Because like I can buy 100 shares and get in and out of a trade for $3. You know, I can buy 500 shares, get in and out of a trade for like $5. And so it's pretty cheap if you're using smaller sizing. If you're using 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 shares, it's gonna rack up a little bit. But if you're using less than 1,000, it's cheap relative to the other brokers that you're gonna use. And so at least in my experience, but who knows? I post links for TradeNet, so maybe I'm biased. I don't know, but I know generally if I'm buying a few hundred shares, my commissions are like $3 to $4, and so it's pretty cheap. Nice. Yeah, that's why I was actually looking at IB Pixel. The reason I was looking at IB is because I wanted a broker where I could swing some, like swing trade specifically. And I wanted one that would give me cheap commission so I could swing trade with small sizing. But the last time I looked, it said there was a $10,000 minimum deposit, but it sounds like they may have changed that, so maybe I'll look into it. But yeah, I mean, our classes are $30. I mean, I don't,
Yeah, I don't think we need more of a discount.
right? Maybe we'll discount it to $20 in the future sometime. I just don't know when. It's just
Yeah, we did an opening to our first members at that rate, and one of the key things is I never like to take value away from people. So if they got that special price because they've been with us for a long time, it's kind of doing them a disservice for giving you the same price. So I think where we have it now, relative to where we even feel the value is relatively a giant discount.
yeah, for sure. That's what
All
comes
right,
with it.
got that rejection there of 78s there, guys. 78s. I'm gonna take 100 shares if it goes up there again. If it comes back down here, guys, I'll look for those 68s, and I'm gonna hold this trade out, try to get the maximum potential. But I gotta go ahead and get on out of here. I'm gonna set some stops and get on out of here and enjoy my day, guys.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's time to close it down, brother.
Yep.
This has been a long trade. Nice
Yes.
trade though. It's worth it though. Good work,
Yeah.
brother.
Hey, at the end of the day, not bad, guys.
Right.
Sitting there, $100 up, still trading it.
Right.
Great trade, full size position,
Right.
handle.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is my graph from the last month. It's a green graph. The last week has really been good. So you can see I've had in gross profits I haven't had a losing day in over a week. I had one not great day where I only was up 50 cents on the day in gross, but it's not been bad, man. It's been a good good month, really. Here's my graph. So not too bad. Gotta avoid this big drawdown on the 20th, like I said. But if this big drawdown wasn't there, I'd be up a lot more. But profitable a month is a profitable month, and I'll take it for sure. All right, guys.
You guys take it easy. I'm gonna go ahead and set a stop there. I have a stop that if it goes to 78, I'll take 100 off, and after that, it will be up there to the VWAP guys on that break even for the rest.
I'm trying to figure out what Leslie's saying here in LST.
LSD, what happened?
No, man.
LST,
Get out of here.
NLST.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
That is it, guys. Yeah, Pun,
nice
man.
Little breakdown.
Yeah, Pun, if you're interested in just checking out our site, man, you can go to our site as well. It's you can go check out our site. We have strategies and stuff on there as well. But yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, somebody said Wednesday is closed. Somebody said Wednesday was closed.
All right, you guys take it easy. I'm out.
All right, later, brother. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close it down as well here. Green day for both Mitch and I. Like I said, this is like my 6th green day in a row in gross profits, and so not too shabby. I'll take it, but have a good day, guys. I'll see you all later. Oh, also, if you're interested in signing up to TradeNet, you can go through my link here as well. It's just one of the ways we keep the stream free, and so make sure to do your research. There's been a lot of drama about TradeNet lately, but I enjoy using them. You can go through my link if you want 10% off and go check them out if you're interested in signing up with them already. But good luck for the rest of the day, all. We'll see you all later.